Alright, this is where the fun begins. Maybe not really. This isn't a very good hand, but I'm gonna keep it. Round number 3, I'm excited. I think I needed a little bit of a warm-up because I have not fully adjusted yet to exactly how I want to do this playthrough, right? Because talking and playing a trading card game at the same time is a little bit tricky, right? Because I have to do two things. I have to make it entertaining. I have to give a good monologue for you guys to listen to, but I also have to explain what the hell is going on because there's a lot of stuff happening at any given moment in games like this. So I'm going to start off by summoning Druid of the Cowl. This thing has a special effect. I tap it and I add a forest to my mana pool. So that's going to allow me to get out bigger creatures a little bit sooner because he's basically going to act as an extra land card for me. And it's also a 1/3, so it's pretty decent against early game creatures. I can kind of block stuff and protect myself a little bit, but it's mostly going to be used for that extra land. And on the next turn, I'm probably going to play... Never mind. He killed it with a fireball. Bombard. Deals 4 damage to target creature. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and play another land and then get the field creeper out. It's just a 2/1, no special effects. So yeah, it's tricky, man, with games like these because there's a lot going on at any given moment. It's very intense, but not in the same way a game like Call of Duty is intense. It's like chess. It's very cerebral. So there are going to be moments when I'm staring at the battlefield just thinking, what is my next move going to be? And I have to do a good job of conveying what my thought process is every step of the way. Now, here's the thought process, right? After seeing him throw that bombard at my creatures so early on, I'm going to assume that he's got a lot of those in his deck. So I am prepared for most of my creatures to get hit in the face with a fireball or a cannonball or whatever. So that's going to be initially what I'm looking out for. But if I get any of my Gravedigger and Grave-centric cards on the battlefield, that's not going to be a huge problem. So what does this do? As long as you control a dragon, Kurgan Dragon Rider has flying. Well, he doesn't have any dragons, so I don't have to worry about that. It's also not a very strong creature. I feel like he just made a misplay. Yeah, he did. That's fine. So he just played an instant spell. Target creature gets +3/+0 until the end of turn. And his creature couldn't attack because he just summoned it. So that was most definitely a misclick. It is what it is. Now I actually have a very powerful hand right now, but I'm not gonna use it. What I have is this card called Murder. It's a very creative name. It destroys a creature, but I'm gonna save it for when he summons something more powerful because I don't want to murder this low level thing. I'm gonna let it rock, let it stay there. I'll take the damage if it attacks me. It's no big deal. All right, so let's see. He's got 3 cards left in his hand. And after that misplay, I'm a little bit less worried because this would have been a big problem for me. The +3/+0 and first strike. First strike, a creature with first strike deals combat damage first. It's tricky. So he had another one of those. So that's something I might have to look out for a little bit more. Sure strike. It's going to make me a bit more nervous about attacking because if he attacks and then he can potentially bait me into thinking I'm stronger than I am with a card like that. Okay, here comes the bombard. You know what I'm going to do? I don't want to take 5 damage to the face, so I'm going to murder it. There you go, bitch. How you like them apples? Yeah, that was good. So I'm going to play the Arcane Encyclopedia. I get to spend 3 mana, and then I tap the Encyclopedia, and I get to draw a card. It's not going to come into play this turn, but in the next turn, that'll be pretty nice. And I'll also play this card. It acts as a swamp or a forest mana. And then we'll continue attacking with the field creeper. This is going pretty well. I hope what I'm saying kind of makes sense to somebody that doesn't play a lot of Magic the Gathering, because it all makes sense to me a little bit, but I know it can be kind of convoluted. Oh, and by the way, Murder. Get that shit out of here. I'm not even going to read what the card does because it's dead. I probably should have read it before I killed it, but that was still pretty cool. I'm still happy with that. I regret nothing. So I'm going to use the Arcane Encyclopedia to draw a card. I drew a Doom to the center, and we're going to continue peppering. At this point, I'm kind of racing against the clock, because every time he draws, there's a very good chance that he's going to get a powerful creature. So I have to deal with him before that happens. So that dealt 3 damage to my creature, and he gets to look at some of the cards in his library. And you may, okay. So that he dealt 3 damage to any target. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a red card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. That's pretty tough. That is pretty tough. So he basically undid the damage that I did to his boar. That's very unfortunate. That was a very nice play from him. So I'm going to go ahead and summon the Doomed Dissenter, and then I will summon a second Doomed Dissenter. I only have 2 mana left, so I can't do anything, but in the next turn, I'm going to summon the Grave Walker. And then we're going to start flying over his big old boar. That thing is fancy. It's got an animation. I got to get me some cards like that. And then he's going to use Shock and deal 2 damage straight to my face. I don't appreciate that. Do I need to summon the Grave Walker? Yeah, I do. Who am I kidding? Also, my opponent no longer has cards in his hand, which is actually very good, because now I don't have to worry about any surprising plays. I don't have to worry about any trickery happening, because when he did have cards in his hand, I had to worry about things like Sure Strike and Bombard, because he can play those at any time, and I could potentially get baited into defending against something that I'm not ready to defend, that I'm not capable of actually defending against, or whatever. A lot can go wrong when an opponent has a big hand filled with a lot of instant cast cards. And here we go. It's a race against the clock now. This thing has Trample and Haste, which means if I block it with something... You know what? Just to prove a point, I'm going to block it with this 1/1. Right? So this is a 5/5. I'm blocking with a 1/1. My 1/1 is going to die. That is a guarantee. Right? But both of these creatures actually have Trample, and I didn't realize that. The remaining damage that didn't get blocked goes straight through to my health. So that hurt, but it's okay. Dead. God damn it! That's 3 in a row. Damn it. I'm gonna die 3 times in a row. Oh, he's not even gonna attack me. He's just gonna shock me to death. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's totally fine. It's fine. Alright, we got a pretty good hand to start things off. It's always nice when I get a Doom to the center to start the round. Titanic Growth is very powerful as well. I can debate somebody into a confident block when they should be a little bit wary of their actions. This is good. And we have a nice spread of mana in our hand as well. So we're going up against another Plains deck. Those are pretty tough for me to deal with my deck, because the Plains cards typically have a lot of flying creatures, and Plains decks have lifelink as well, so they get to survive longer than usual because of that. So every time a creature with lifelink attacks, it gains health. He gains health every time a creature with lifelink attacks, he gains health equal to the amount of damage that he just dealt. So he's just going to be basically feeding himself life, and a lot of life as well. It seems his whole deck is going to be centered around small creatures with lifelink, and he's probably got some big bads in there as well. I'm not gonna bother blocking this just yet. Not yet. I'm just gonna end up tanking a lot of damage to the face for a couple of turns, which is gonna hurt, but in the long run it will pay off. So we're gonna summon the Greenwood Sentinel. This guy has Vigilance, so when he does attack, he doesn't tap, which is nice. And when a creature is tapped, it can't block or use its special abilities and things, so the ability to stay untapped is pretty nice. So now that I have these guys on the field, he is more weary about attacking with them because I could gang up on them and block and kill them that way. So he's probably just going to keep pecking my face with the healer's hawk. So I'm going to bring out the bristling boar. Now he's going to start getting afraid. Yeah, I can poke you in the face too for a little bit of damage. He's going to go for the block on the Doomed Dissenter, of course. He blocked them both, actually. That's fair. Nothing crazy happened. Now, what is this? Malicious Burglar. We've seen this before. When he enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature with the power of 2 or less among them and put it into your hand and do something with the rest. All right. Now, at this point, I've got a very strong set of cards in my hands, but not a whole lot that I can do to change the outcome of the battle. There's not a lot that's going on. No major plays that I can make right now. And that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, there's nothing major that I can do right now. So I'm just going to send in the Bristling Boar. He's going to start taking some chunks out of his health. I could play the giant growth, Titanic growth on him, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save it for later. So what I'm going to do is play Titanic growth on the Greenwood Sentinel. Yeah, if I may. And then I'm going to block. It's most certainly overkill, but it's a safe overkill. I could have done that on the zombie as well, but that's okay. Now, drawing the Death Baron right now is a huge benefit for me. This is going to make my zombies a little bit stronger, +1/+1, and it gives them death touch. So they can basically destroy anything just by touching them. I'm going to make you use your brain a little bit. If you don't know what death touch does, just think about it. Death touch. If you touch it, you die. It's pretty simple. So now that we've got this battlefield, we have an advantage in numbers. We can start kind of just spamming attacks on him, and that'll be pretty nice. Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna start spamming. Everything's going for the face. Not everything. Let's not get freaky. Let's not get out of control. Okay, let's be a little bit calm and collected about this. I know I'm excited right now. Now that lifelink on his creatures in the early game has really given him a huge advantage. And take vengeance. That is a pain in the ass. Destroy target tapped creature. My boar is in the graveyard now. But if I happen to draw a Gravedigger, I'll bring him back. Also, I'm super tempted to murder that stupid bird, but I'm not gonna do it. And I drew a Gravedigger, that's perfect. So say hello to my little friend Gravedigger. And the Bristling Boar returns to my hand. I could have brought back the other guy, the Doomed Dissenter. But I want something a little bit beefier for the moment. Because the thing with the Doomed Dissenter is when he dies, he becomes a zombie, and then he gets +1/+1 in Death Touch because of Death Baron. But the Bristling Boar, his unique effect is very, very powerful. It allows him to just kind of sneak through and cheese his way to victory. Dude, I want to kill that fucking bird so bad. I want to kill that stupid bird. It's just been pecking me in the face all day, but I'm gonna kill that instead. Because I have lethal damage right here. So let's go to the combat phase. Boom, 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 boom. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That was pretty good. Overall, that wasn't a good drawing of cards. It wasn't a really good hand that we got, but we did get the win. My opponent got very unlucky there. He didn't draw any mana for most of the game, and I'm sure he had some pretty beefy creatures that if he got out on the field would have destroyed me pretty well. But that's just how it goes sometimes. I'm gonna do one more because that win felt good, but not as good as it could have felt. So we'll reconvene in just a second. The hand that I have is not very good, but I'm gonna keep it and believe in the heart of the cards. Okay, we've been off to a bit of a rocky start. I'm not gonna deny that for a second, but at the same time, I believe my deck is powerful. I am confident that I put something together that will bring me success, because it has brought me success in the past. This is always something that happens, isn't it, right? You say that something is good, and then you test it out in a live gameplay scenario, and then it's not. It doesn't work. Okay, so we've got 3 land on the field. I'm going to play the Arcane Encyclopedia. This is going to help me get more cards. I spend 3 mana and I get to draw a card. This is going to help me to bring things in, because I'm going to need some things right now. This guy has a 2/2 with flying on the field. There isn't much I can do about creatures with flying with this deck, but I do have 1 card that can deal with flying creatures, but I'm not going to use it right now because the flying creature that he played isn't all that powerful. I'm just going to continue using the Arcane Encyclopedia so I can keep drawing cards, because getting more cards in my hand is a little bit more important than defending against these really small attacks that he's going to send out for right now. Alright, so I'm going to take 3 damage to the face. That's okay. That's not a lot. But what I'm going to do now is summon the Field Creeper. And I'm going to play another mana. I'm just going to let it rock. Playing a little bit risky here by I'm going to allow him to get a lot of hits off on me. But I'm feeling confident that I can weather the storm and then strike back pretty hard. But it's getting a little bit worse every time. Whenever the Star-Crowned Stag attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. That is problematic. I'm going to play Verdant Rebirth on the Field Creeper because I want to draw a card. And the Field Creeper is going to return to my hand. I just need as many cards as I can muster up, because I don't have a lot of stuff right now. I can summon the Gravewalker, which is really nice, though I am a bit worried that he might have something in his hand that can kill it or pacify it somehow. So I'm tempted to hold off on it for just 1 more turn. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call out the Field Creeper. I'm going to call out your friend, my friend, everybody's friend, the Doomed Dissenter. And then I'm going to pass to the next turn. I'm still going to let his flying creature stay, because I have a feeling that he has more flying creatures, and if he plays something that's stronger, I'm going to destroy it. See? Perfect. Whenever this guy attacks, you gain 2 life. That's not going to stay. I'm going to let it stay for a little bit, but I'm going to destroy it later. I'm going to let him think that thing is safe, but it's totally not safe. So he's using the Star-Crowned Stag to tap my Field Creeper. So we'll go on to the blocking phase. I will block with the Doomed Dissenter. He will die and become more powerful. And you know what? Screw this guy. Ain't nobody got time for this. Alright. So we're taking a lot of damage here. We're down to 13 life already. But things are going to start getting exciting. So let's go ahead and call out the Gravewalker. This is going to be our main line of defense for a while. That's going to be kind of the only thing that's going to keep me safe. And if it dies, that's going to suck. But if now, he's got 3 cards in his hand. I haven't seen any instant cast spells from him, so I'm going to assume that he's mostly running with a deck that has a lot of creatures and not a lot of spells, a lot of sorcery and stuff like that. So I'm not super worried about him debating me into doing something that I didn't want to do. But I do kind of... I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and get the Death Baron out. Screw it. This will give our zombie Death Touch and make it a little bit stronger. And we have enough to play the Arcane Encyclopedia so I can draw an extra card. That's definitely helpful. You know, let's go for it. Let's start getting some damage out there. Let's see if he's willing to block anything to get rid of this 3/3 with Death Touch. Nope, he just wants to take the damage to the face. That's understandable because, especially with the Star Crown Stag, he doesn't want to block with that because it has a very powerful effect. He's probably just going to have a straight up damage race with me because of the way the Star Crown Stag works. Every time he attacks with it, he can use it to tap my Gravewalker, but he's choosing not to do that. That's interesting. He may not have a full understanding of the power that he wields, which is totally fine. I'm not mad about that at all. I should probably just destroy the Star Crown Stag. The thing is, whenever I have cards like Murder in my hand, I want to save it for the crazy strong creature that my opponent is probably going to summon. But, you know, that in the long run, that could be a little bit risky, saving Murder for the long run. So I used the Gravewalker special effect to bring back the Doomed Dissenter, and now I'm going to send it out to attack. And I'm going to leave everything else to defend for the next turn. He only has one creature with flying that can block it. There may be something in his hand that can screw this over. Yep, there it is. Damn it. I had a feeling something like that was going to happen. So he is out for blood right now. And of course he's going to tap my 3/3 with Death Touch. That's going to be problematic. It doesn't really matter what I block right now, because everything is pretty much the same. But I am running out of health, and I'm running low on options here. So I'm going to have to make a big play, or else it's game over for me. And we certainly don't want that to happen for the 5th or 6th time in a row. I don't know. I've kind of lost count at this point. What do we do? Okay, here's the plan. It's time to get rid of the Star Crown Stag. Get rid of it. Enough is enough. Next, we're going to play the Infectious Horror. Whenever the Infectious Horror attacks, each opponent loses 2 life. We're going to go ahead and play that. Bang, bang, boom. And then we're going to attack with 2 of our creatures, the zombie and the Doomed Dissenter. A part of me is hoping he decides to block the Doomed Dissenter so that it dies and creates a zombie. But he's probably not going to do that. He did it. All right, fine. That was a huge misplay, but I will take it. I will take anything that I can get at this point. Now, unfortunately, on that last turn, I spent all of my mana, so I can't make any big plays with these 2 instant cast spells that I have. What is this? When this enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. All right, I'm dealing with a lot of sustain here, and that is a bit troublesome. All right, we've got another mana. Now here's where things will get a little bit fun and funky. We've got Verdant Rebirth. He doesn't know I have that, obviously. So we're going to go straight into the combat phase, and then we're going to attack with the Infectious Horror. And if he chooses to block it, I'm going to play Verdant Rebirth. And this thing is very powerful because he takes an additional 2 damage every time it attacks. So I know he wants to block it. I know you do. Block it. Block it. Get it off the battlefield. Make the sacrifice. He's not going to do it. All right, well, since he's not going to block, he's going to take even more damage. I'm going to play that Titanic Growth, beef him up a little bit, 7/7. He's going to take 7 damage to the face. We're racing against the clock. And I'm gonna go ahead and end the turn. My heart's racing a little bit here, because this is a surprisingly close game in terms of how much health we each have. And the battlefield is relatively even. Because here's the thing, if the Death Baron gets killed, my power goes down significantly. Alright, we got another land that we can play. I'm going to activate Arcane Encyclopedia, draw another card, and it is a bristling boar. I definitely need this right now. But at the same time, I don't want to spend all of my mana, because if I do, then I won't have Verdant Rebirth. So here's what we do. We go into the attack phase. We send out the Infectious Horror again. And I'm saving my zombie to block in the next turn. So what does that do? What does it do? Wait, stop. Stop. I didn't even read what it did, but I'm scared. I probably had time to read that. I don't know what he just played. I panicked. I totally panicked. I shouldn't have done that. I thought he was going to kill me, but he didn't. That's fine. I still got to draw a card from that. Oh my god. I'm stupid sometimes. I'm stupid all the time, but that was especially stupid. Okay, he finally got rid of the Death Baron, which is very unfortunate. No more Death Touch for me. That's going to significantly reduce the power of my creatures. I'm not going to really be able to kill anything anymore. I can just kind of block and soak up the hits. I'm going to take that 3 damage, though. I'm going to take it. It's a big risk, but I didn't draw anything good. Alright, so I drew a Gravedigger. I'm going to call it out. I want to bring back a really big creature from the graveyard, but like the Gravewalker, for example, because the Gravewalker could facilitate me getting other creatures back onto the battlefield, but the Gravewalker is very slow, and I won't be able to play it this turn because I don't think I have enough mana. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back the Death Baron, and the Death Baron, I am going to be able to play him right away, and he's going to buff my zombie guys again. And he's giving them Death Touch, so that's going to be nice. I'm going to finally get some kills if he decides to attack again. Can I finish him? 3, 6, 7, 8. Nope, I'm 1 away from getting a finish. That's very disappointing. Let's go ahead and pay some mana to draw another card. Unfortunately, nothing that is going to help me get the kill. But what I can do is... Wait a minute. Wait, can I win? No, I can't. I can't win this turn. I can't win this turn. I thought I was gonna win this turn. Yeah, I know. Wait, does that have flying? Oh, it has flying. God damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Ah. And there we go. That's going to do it for Magic the Gathering Arena for today. This deck has given me a lot of success, and unfortunately I had a really awesome win with it, but the recording got messed up, so I can't share it with you. But overall, I am satisfied with the way this plays, so in the next Magic the Gathering video that I put out, I'm going to use a new deck, a new strategy, and we're going to have a good time. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. The name of the game is Magic the Gathering Arena. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.